If you're thinking about moving to Columbus, first off, welcome. But secondly, there are some things that you need to know about the city before moving here. And there's some things that people would like to know before moving. So stick around for this video. These are some great tips if you're planning on moving to Columbus. So let me first off start by saying that none of these are deal breakers, but they are things that are definitely, things that you should know before coming to this city. So first and foremost, Columbus is a lot bigger than you think it is. So a lot of people think, it's just another Midwest city, but we have nearly 2 million people living in Columbus and the surrounding neighborhoods. And what that means is, there is a bit of traffic, but there's a neighborhood that makes the most sense for you. So depending on what you like to do, whether it is be out in nature, entertainment, restaurants, what have you, there is a neighborhood for you. But this is the 15th largest city in the US. The second thing that you should know about Columbus is that you are going to drive a lot more than you expect, especially if you're coming from a larger metro city. Everything is very drivable here. I mean, you can get from one end of the city to the other within a matter of 30 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic, but you do pretty much have to drive everywhere. The third thing you should know, it kind of ties into the second thing you should know, but public transportation, in my opinion, is not great. So again, you will need to be driving to most places. We do have a public bus system. We are working on making improvements to that to the city, but just know that, it is going to involve you getting in a car, having a car here to be able to get from one place to another or from one neighborhood to another. But it's definitely less commuting than what you would have in a larger metro city. The fourth thing is our weather has multiple personalities. And it's so true, especially today. I mean, a few weeks ago, it was, mid-June and the high was 70 and the low was in the 50s. It was perfect keeping the windows open at night and just enjoying it throughout the day. But today it's, mid-90s with a heat index of over 100. It's hot, it's humid. But, the nice thing about Columbus is we do truly have all 4 seasons. And I see that a lot with people who are relocating from, various parts of the US that might not get those various seasons. That's a huge plus for them. I will say that fall and springtime in Ohio is like none other. It's so pretty and it's definitely worth the move. The fifth thing that you should know about moving to Columbus is that we don't have mountains and we do not have beaches, unfortunately. But we do have an amazing park system here. Our metro parks are top notch. If you haven't checked out my top 5 metro parks, definitely check that out. It should be popping up around me right now. But we also have Alum Creek, Hoover Reservoir. So if you'd like to be near the water, those are definitely opportunities for you to live by the water or even on the water. We also have kayaking, and we also have an amazing state park nearby. So Hocking Hills is just an hour away from us, and it has beautiful hikes, a lot of terrain, so you can kind of get that mountain feel with just a short drive as well. Number 6 on things you should know is that Columbus is growing fast. So with that being said, there is a lot of construction. So as Columbus continues to grow, expand, more people are moving here. We are seeing new developments pop up, apartments, homes, new highways, and updates to various highways that we have throughout the city. So I would have you anticipate seeing construction, but construction's not a bad thing. It just means that, again, the city's growing, more things are moving into the city as far as restaurants, and it just shows that the overall health of the city is continuing to expand. And, your investment here within Columbus is going to pay off, or will most likely pay off over time. The 7th thing that you should know about moving to Columbus is that winters are not terrible. They're not great either. It's definitely gray here. It's probably the number one thing that I don't like about living in Columbus, if I'm going to be honest. But it's usually not, it's short-lived. It doesn't last for a long, long time. We don't get tons of snow, which is also a common misconception when people move here. I mean, I've had people move from warmer climates and, they actually love the winter time here in Columbus because, they were anticipating all of this snow and we don't get it to the level that you might get in a further north city. So definitely know that winters can be rough. It can get cold here, but it's not as terrible as you might think. The eighth thing that you should know is Columbus is a lot more diverse than you think it would be. So we have Ohio State University here that draws people all across the US and internationally. And a lot of times once they graduate from the university, they take up roots in this beautiful city. So we have so many great various food scenes, entertainment, anything and everything that you might love from a bigger city. There is most likely that or a spot here in Columbus that you can enjoy that same type of culture, food, what have you. So definitely understand that Columbus is a great, great city with a lot of different people. The ninth thing that you should know is that housing is still affordable as compared to other bigger cities across the US. So housing prices have risen over the past few years here in Columbus, especially if you're somebody who has lived here or grown up nearby. They have jumped a lot, but the average home price is right around $330,000 to $350,000, and the average price across the U.S. as a total is around $400,000. So you can see that we are below that average. There are a ton of great options for you to relocate here and get a house that suits your needs. The 10th thing that you should know about Columbus is that people are genuinely nice here. So, it is a hard thing to find, especially having clients move from bigger metro areas when they, are walking down the street or I'm showing them around the city and there's people waving, saying hi. That Midwestern nice is definitely something that is lived day in and day out here in Columbus. Now, I'm not going to say every single person in Columbus is like a smile on their face, we're all happy, but genuinely we are a very welcoming and accepting city, and you'll definitely feel that if you just spend, a few days or even a few hours within Columbus. And one additional bonus thing that you should know about living in Columbus is you don't have to live downtown to enjoy downtown. So I mentioned before that, the city is expanding, growing, but you can very easily get to the downtown area to enjoy sports or concerts that come through town or even the food scene that's downtown very easily from all of the suburbs that we have surrounding Columbus. So you can get to the downtown area within usually 20 minutes or so from any of the suburbs around Columbus. So definitely something you should know. You don't have to live downtown to enjoy the city the way that it's meant to be enjoyed. As you can hopefully see, these are all things that you should know about moving to the city, especially if you're moving from a larger city and you want that hustle and bustle. They're not deal breakers by any means, but they're actually things that I love the most about the city. I do love the ease of getting around, the welcome nature of the residents that live here, and just the ability to do so many various things day in and day out, depending on, if you want to go hiking, entertainment, food, what have you. There's just so many various options here in Columbus. So if you are somebody who is looking or thinking about relocating or potentially buying in Columbus, and you just want a little bit more information on which area might make the most sense for you or if Columbus is the right fit, I would love to hop on a quick one-on-one call with you. You can book it through the link in my bio. As always, I put out videos every Friday. And in the meantime, make sure that you like, subscribe, follow along, and until next Friday, have a great week.